Okay, so remember in the first video I said that you cannot edit the code name once you create this. So really, if I wanted to make this Econ 2106, I would have to go in and just, apparently I would have to just delete the whole course and start over again. So that's what I did. I just deleted it by clicking on delete, and I just went ahead and added the two different sections so you can see what that would look like. So what I was saying in the first video is that you can have the same code for different sections of the same course. So I've got section A and section B. Section A is being taught by Gary Norman and section B is being taught by Dr. Josie. And this is a way that you can set up different reading lists for the same class being taught by different instructors. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through how to set up a reading list. Okay, so now that we set up our course records, we can set up the reading list. And the first thing you need to do is click on Actions and Reading List, and we're going to click Add Reading List, and you'll have to assign a reading list code, and that can be the same code that you used for the course record. So we used Econ 2106, and then you'll want to give it a name. So we will call this macroeconomics. And actually, I believe that when everything is working as it should, you'll have another field here that's called owner. And the owner is going to be the person who submitted the list or needs to be updated about it, like, for example, the instructor, possibly. Or you could make the owner the staff member who created the list. But I'm not seeing owner listed here, and I'm wondering if that is because we're in that period where they are still migrating data, and they told us that things would be kind of wonky during the month of May. So that would be a field that we need to look for when we get our environment back. So the next thing that we see here is status, and by default it gives you a status of being prepared, and you can change this later to something like being processed or complete, and you would just go in here and edit the reading list and select one of these other options here. But since we're still working on this list for right now, we can just leave this as the default setting of being prepared. And you see that it automatically fills in your end date based on what you filled in on the course record page. So we'll click Add and Close. And now we've set up a reading list for Section B of Econ 2106 being taught by Dr. Josie. And we're ready to start adding books to the reading list. And you've got three different ways of doing this. One of the ways is to go and do a repository search. Going up here, clicking on repository search and searching for a book. And the record would typically have a link that says something like add item to reading, the link will say add to reading list under the item. But right now when you search the repository, you don't see that link, so that's also something that they removed. So what I'm going to show you is a different way of adding items to the reading list. And so I'm going to click on Actions and click Work On, and you'll have three links down here. The first one is Add Repository Citation. So this is just an alternate way of adding a citation from the repository, and you see it puts you on the repository search page, and now we can look for an item for Dr. Josie's section. So I'm just going to put in a search for macroeconomics, and we'll just select Macroeconomics Demystified number 5, and also number 7, Principles of Macroeconomics. And you'll notice that one of these is in Hightower and one of these is in Guillebeau. And after you add these to the reading list, we'll have to change the location so that they're both on the reserve shelf. So we're going to come back up to the top of the page and click on Select, and we've just added this to the reading list. Now, if the professor comes and changes their mind, or you have to remove something from the list, you can do that at any time. So for example, for whatever reason you need to remove Macroeconomics Demystified, you can just place a check mark in front of the item. Up at the top of the page there's a link here that says Remove Citations, and if you click that, you'll get a confirmation message, and you'll want to click Confirm, and that'll remove the item from the reading list. And so that's how you take things off. If you're satisfied that everything is correct, then you can go ahead and click on Save, and we'll have added that to our reading list. And if you click View from the Actions menu, then that'll show all the items that are in the reading list that you just created. If you used the Add Repository Citation method of adding items to a reading list, you have to go back and change the temporary location to be the reserve shelf. And so the way we're going to do that is we're actually going to click on the title here, and you can grab the or copy and paste the MMSID number up in the persistent tool search box here. Go ahead and search by that number, and then we're going to go to Items, and we're going to go to Actions, and we're going to go to Change Location. And you'll want to move temporarily, and then you'll want to select Dorothy Hightower, and where it says Add Request Attributes, we're going to click on the second drop-down menu here and select Reserve Area at CircDesk, and click Add Request Attribute. And you also want to add the due back date here, and you can click on the calendar link and select the day that these items are due back. And when you're done, well, first of all, under Additional Request Attributes, you'll see that the location is Reserve Area at CircDesk. When you're done, click on Submit, and you'll see that the location is still Guillebeau Hall. That's because you still have to scan in the item. So somebody would have to go retrieve this from Guillebeau Hall, and they would click on the Scan In Items link and scan it in, and then click OK. And it'll give you a message saying temporary reshelving location is Reserve Area at CircDesk. Go ahead and click the OK button, and now it's going to say reshelve to Reserve Area at CircDesk. And so when you open up the reading list for Dr. Josie's class, now you'll see that it changed the area it's shelved in under Availability to Physical Version Temporarily at Hightower Reserve Area. It still shows where the permanent location is in Guillebeau, but it's going to display in Primo this temporary location, Reserve Area, and so that's basically how you change the location. Another way that you can add items to a reading list, as well as move the items to a course reserve, is to use the Scan In Items option on the fulfillment menu. And so first we're going to look at the courses we have. You'll see that I have, again, I have two sections. I have section A, which is Gary Norman, and section B, which is Dr. Josie. And just looking at this one more time, Dr. Josie's list, I edited the code so it says Econ 2106B, just to keep it separate from the reading list for Dr. Norman. So what we're going to do is go through this again, and we're going to create a reading list for Dr. Norman, and we called it Econ 2106A, and we're going to add items to it by going to the Scan In Items page. And you'll want to click where it says Change Item Information tab. And this is where you can indicate that the item is temporarily moved to the course reserves location. And the advantage of this is that we're going to go ahead and change the location to the reserve area at CircDesk and indicate that this is a temporary location. And we're going to add items to the reading list all in basically the same step. So we're doing Econ A, and we're going to select that particular reading list. And now we're going to scan in the items for Dr. Norman's class. And all I had to do was go up to the second floor and pull the items that he wanted for his class and scan them in. And then when you're done, we also have to specify the due back day. So that's going to be the end of the term. And when you're finished adding everything to the list, then you can click the exit link. And now we can go back to our reading list page, and you'll see that I have Econ 2106, which is being prepared, and we have 2106A, which is over here on your reading list task list. We want to go and click on Actions and Work On. And I just want to take a look and see that all of the items I wanted in Dr. Norman's class are actually here on this list. So these are all the things that I just scanned in. And if that is, in fact, accurate, then what I'm going to do from the Edit Reading List page is click Save, either from the top of the page or down here below. Now that's going to add this particular reading list to our reading lists task list. And what we can do with this page here is we can go to Actions, and we can actually view the items in the reading list. And also you can see that these items are temporarily shelved in the Hightower Reserve area. So the advantage of scanning them in is that you can also change the location as you're adding the items to the reading list.